It's been 1 week since... no, you know what? I lost it. I was going to do it's been 1 week since we looked at teams. 2 weeks since we started playing things. Can you fix this? Can you help me with this?
No.
Aurora!
It's been 1 week since the last recap.
2 weeks since...
2 weeks since the standings changed at all.
Okay. And in 4 weeks, we'll be done.
Yeah, and in 4 weeks we'll be done.
Perfect. I love it. Look at us. You know what? We should go on tour.
Fucking get a bus. Maybe when I come visit California.
Oh, let's go. We'll get a big bus and we'll say welcome. It doesn't have your name on it. It just says welcome. That's it.
It just says welcome.
That's
and that's it.
That's all it needs. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Double Dip Draft. We are entering week 3 for the Aqua division. I am Cabral, coach of the Slinging Aegis Slashers. Joining me today,
it's Aurora, coach of the Honchkrows Hunters, and it is time for taking a look at Aqua division.
It is time for taking a look at Aqua division. Aqua division is the only division that is actually still the 2222 and the 02222. All across the board.
It is entirely polarized.
Yeah.
Luckily, this week we have 2 matches of people that are 2-2 fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we will actually start seeing some movement on this board.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, we'll probably get into this later as we talk about the end results and where we're at with the standings, but the early week fights, depending who you're fighting, a lot of the top end players in the division at the moment have not fought each other. And a lot of the lower end players have only fought the higher end players. So it's going to look skewed and be skewed when you have brand new players or players that don't have the same level of experience, like Scoots or Nick, that are here and pretty staples in the league itself. And we're going to see some of that start to change as the weeks finally go on. But it makes a really big difference in just kind of how the standings are, because I think going into week 5, week 6, Aqua's going to completely shift and completely change up, just due to a few players now having to fight other players that they haven't fought before.
Yeah, the higher end people facing the lower end people first. It can also result in a bunch of upsets, which we do see that happening in other divisions.
Yeah.
But Aqua division has basically been resulting pretty much how we seeded it.
Yeah.
Scoots is first, that makes sense. Big, we kind of had pretty decent expectations of, given that he boasted a pretty decent knowledge of drafts. Mm-hmm. Nick, of course, doing very well. And the 4th slot is kind of open.
Yeah. And I think
we didn't quite know where that one's going, and that's where the Grass Valley Greninjas have taken it and been quite surprising with the results so far.
Yeah. And I think with that being said, we'll have to go into looking at the Grass Valley Greninjas, Mad Capster, versus Jason of the Hartford Honchkrows. And look at their match this week and talk about that. We do see Obstagoon come this week. Mad Capster's had a fairly staple team the past couple weeks. Obstagoon is a switch up from the usual we've seen. On the other end of the spectrum, Jason, or end of the field, not spectrum. I don't know if that's the right word that I wanted to use. Jason, though, has pretty staple Pokemon every week because, Jason's one of those drafts that has very high-end picks and then a couple low-end picks that are likely not going to come to matches.
Yeah, a bunch of shitters to round it out. Also, no Terras whatsoever. The only Terra in this entire match is just Obstagoon.
Yeah.
And Bastiodon is here again, as if to mock our tirade from last week.
Yeah, we love Bastiodon, though, right? We're here to support Bastiodon and all that she does.
No.
Oh, okay, well, I guess with that being said, let's see if we can keep making fun of Bastiodon as the fight goes on. We get another Torkoal lead from Mad Capster, which I think has happened every week so far.
I'm not sure. I'd have to check,
I'll
but
have to double check too.
like getting the sun up on a team like this dedicated to the sun is definitely not a bad move.
No.
It's kind of up to the opponent still to like take advantage of this, and like the flamethrower burning on this Landorus.
So unfortunate.
Oof, rough. Yeah. Very unfortunate situation for Jason, sacking the entirety of Landorus just for some rocks.
Yeah, kind of a shame. It's also kind of a shame, I feel like, you know, the rocks are nice and all, but I almost would rather have just kind of hit whatever came in, like an Earth Power, Earthquake, whatever was running. I don't know if it was particular or special set. Also, you know, Bastiodon here getting some use now.
Yeah, Bastiodon clicking moves.
Yeah, like
trying to progress the game state.
Yeah, body press, okay. Yeah. Sturdy, it lives, you know. Body press, it kills, okay. Bastiodon with the kill.
I can only imagine Madcapster was like predicting Bastiodon to switch out. Hence the T-Wave. Could
be the case.
It makes no sense to click that move like into Bastiodon.
You don't want your 30 speed to be halved.
Yeah. I'm also realizing now that Obstagoon is likely choice, probably Scarf.
Oh. I didn't think about
it. I don't believe we ever see it changing moves.
No, I don't think we do.
Lily going for the Moonblast here does unfortunately result in it not being able to do a significant amount of damage to the Torkoal.
Yeah.
So the Rapid Spin goes off, the rocks go away, and also the sun comes up again for free.
Yeah.
Again, into a team that really likes it. And Jason, very greedy, trying to set up a Latias in front of a Chandelure.
Yeah. I don't know if that was a roll to knock it out. The Para, it was nice that... Oh, could have been nice if Para went off to be able to knock that out properly. But again, Chandelure just hits so hard and does so much damage.
Yeah, and even if he gets the Calm Minds like off and only takes like one significant hit for it, the Walking Wake coming in the sun, getting that speed boost is also still just going to be faster than it.
Yeah, we do see that switch out though on Greninja.
Yeah, that definitely feels like it's scarfed. Like that makes sense to me. Is Greninja sadly just barely not having the power to knock out this Walking Wake?
Maybe a little bit chip early.
And Jason starts being put on the back foot, and he had the option to just fake out here.
Yeah.
It would have sucked into Obstagoon, obviously, but like you had to do something to kill the Walking Wake, but now it's dead. And here, interestingly, Madcapster goes for a parting shot back into Torkoal. Psychic kicks hits this thing, and even at -1, it just OHKOs because Torkoal's special defense doesn't exist.
Yeah. And this Obstagoon is scarfed, or even just faster, because Lele's not often a speed-infested Pokemon. Clicking a move, you know, like Shadow Claw would have killed it a turn or two ago, and you did not have to lose Torkoal for the diff.
Yeah. It's just like a differential change. But, you know, like being up or down 1 point can potentially, like, change your seeding.
Yeah.
And on a bad day, being, like, one differential down while being, like, 4 wins, 3 losses against someone else who's 4 wins, 3 losses might just be the difference keeping you either out of or inside of playoffs.
Yeah. But a relatively close match. I think there were actually a couple little things Jason could have done there to take the lead on this. Again, you know, Lando coming in and just hitting and chipping Walking Wake could have had that thing ended much earlier. The fake out also could have help with that as well. Just little things here and there, but it's always little things that make a match, you know.
Yeah, a lot of small choices being made that's resulted in this outcome.
But I think that about wraps it up with that match. We got another one, if you want to introduce it.
Yes, the second match of this week is between Big Mouth of the Blood Moon Bears versus GTP Woody of the Schaumburg Salamences.
Yeah.
Classic Woody.
Classic Woody. I don't think there's too much to say really on team preview. You know, we see some really good Pokemon from Big. Cutie Fly is also here, but it's likely here to set some webs just to slow down Woody's team, probably to deal with the low punny, I imagine.
Yeah, that's pretty much like the only purpose that it serves.
Yeah.
Especially since like a lot of big steam just happen to be like a little bit slower than Lopunny. Lopunny being a very fast mega, like pretty much all of the mega boosted stats go into attack and speed.
Yeah. Which makes a lot of sense, but I think that at this point it's just click and play and see how this all plays out. There's a Cutie Fly lead, which is likely going to use webs, and there it is. And Rocks comes out from Woody, taking a Moon Blast to the face and just clicking Heavy Slam to knock that out.
Yeah, just immediately get like sending this thing away. Interestingly, that the Diancie is the first thing to come out here.
Yeah, 36%.
And Woody just immediately starting to heavy slam away.
Yeah.
This thing bulky enough that it lives 1 earth power, gets the heavy slam again, and now this Diancie is honestly already pretty low.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Woody not terrestrializing initially made him take a bunch of unnecessary extra damage.
Yeah, and earlier Terra could have actually not knocked out Diancie, but maybe brought it lower or maybe threatened to knock it out, to where Big would have to switch.
Yeah. Also, we see a pretty bulky Mesprit here.
Yeah.
Getting rid of his own rocks and the webs, only for this thing to set up even more rocks.
Yeah. And then another defog from this thing. Setting up rain, by the way. Likely for Vicious Land. Maybe a Raw Thunder, but a little doubtful on that.
Yeah. The one thing about Dracovish, though, it is not a tank, and it does not want to just take a raw Dragon Pulse. I'm not even sure if it would have lived a Sludge Wave, but...
Probably not.
Yeah, just like hard switching it in, like even on the rain, which like its ability is Sand Rush, but Vicious Rend is a water type move, so like it's I guess just to boost the damage.
Could be.
I don't know. It's a weird set of plays. It turns out like ultimately that the rain in this match is entirely inconsequential and accomplishes nothing.
Yeah. But it is very interesting that we get weather from a non-weather team actually this season with all the sun that's in this division.
There is a lot of weather going on. Also, this Porygon, like because it's sitting in for so long, the Toxic just builds up and
yeah,
eventually claims this thing finally.
Fake Out doing 18% is crazy.
Yeah, we are about to like witness the power of Lopunny though.
Yeah, love
the full para there. Very good to bail Woody out because like a hard Sludge Wave or a Draco would have 100% knocked this thing out after the defense drop.
Yeah, another U-turn coming in here. Vileplume coming in, just eating it, a critical Dazzling Gleam from this thing.
Yep, and basically deals no damage. The Healing Wish goes off though.
Yep.
And brings it onto the Diancie, healing it back up to full health. And this thing is very threatening and annoying.
Yeah.
And we are also about to be in for some Woody shenanigans. So he's clicked Dazzling Gleam there. Like this thing is incredibly bulky, so it doesn't do anything. We do see the Toxic come out, which would have loved to see that one turn earlier, just so we can start building up faster.
Yeah.
And then Woody, feeling that Dazzling Gleam didn't do a lot of damage, swaps from Dazzling Gleam into Energy Ball. And ends up doing nothing.
Yeah, and then we get Frustration to actually hit, and then we do get a close combat here at the end to bring it down to 1%. Don't know what the roll was on that, but, Toxic already having been built up does just take out Diancie. We're down to a 2v1, but, at this
2v1,
point,
but this Rotom is far too low.
Yeah.
It depends on the exact set that this Meowscarada and
Iron Treads.
I always want to call it Spare Tire.
Yeah.
It's the only that's what it is in my head. That's the only thing.
Spare Tire in your heart.
If they didn't have any kind of priority and or were scarfed or like speed boosted in some way, I do feel Lopunny would just knock both of them out.
That likely is the
had it like been able to knock out that the Diancie.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. Like, there's a couple little plays here and there that I think Woody's team actually looks really strong into this when you start to think about it. I do like the Terra Ghost on, the Elephant, and if it had done that earlier, it might have threatened out of Antsy far sooner, still been around to take a hit from something else before moving on. Dracovish never had an opportunity to even hit anything. But yeah, victory goes to Bick, and Bick is sitting pretty at a 3-0. We'll get to the diffs a little later, but we got another match to look at. We have Scoots of the Portland Palafins and Nick of the Bayou Bellibolts, and they're both 2-0 right now, so we get to finally see someone take their first loss in this division.
Yes, both Nick
the top
and
end of
Scoot. Yeah, both Nick and Scoots, both very strong players. Scoots, honestly, on the level of IDM, if you just look at their win rates, their matches played, their history, how they match up into a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, also a staple of Double Dip, has had really, really good performances in the past. Not quite gotten a win yet, but I do feel he does have it in him.
Yeah.
And perhaps this is the team that he has this season is the one to do it.
Yeah.
But it's still gonna be up to him to actually put it into practice.
And we do see a terrifying team on Nick's draft. We've talked about these every week as well. Urshifu does its thing, Ting Lu does its thing. We do see Electrode make an appearance for the first time with the Ghost Terra, and we also have the horse here with a Fire Terra. Scoots, of course, not having any Terras, but we do see Regigigas here, which I love Regigigas. I think it's so funny.
Regigigas is one of those funny Pokemon. If it ever gets going, it's still only just base 100 speed, which granted against Nick is pretty good because most of it just barely outslows. Urshifu notably being, I believe, 97 base speed.
I believe that is the case.
So that is funny, but you kind of have to invest this thing fully in its bulk anyway, so it's not much. That speed doesn't matter. It's just the attack being halved for so long.
Yeah, but
that you just sort of use it as a body to sit in front of things.
Yeah. But with that being said, I think we'll go ahead and start this off, and we do see Clefable coming out first and Glasstrier immediate back into Regigigas with Slow Start activating, and just eating a heavy slam is so crazy.
Yeah, Regigigas, if you've ever seen it in one of its animations, this thing is quite big and therefore quite heavy, and Heavy Slam therefore doesn't do that much, because Heavy Slam compares the weight of the two Pokemon, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and we do see a Fortunate Whirlwind, because that thing was in for 3 turns, and we do not get to see Slow Start go away.
We will never see Slow Start go away.
Maybe one game.
Yeah. The Earthquake sending away Regieleki, which, well, I didn't even clock that. There's 2 Regis here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a very nice play from Nick, though, tricking the Choice Specs onto this thing.
Yeah.
Locking it into its move.
Mm-hmm. Going to Urshifu, trying to take advantage of that, of course, switching out. And 35 to this thing from Power Whip is so crazy. Both of them setting rocks back up again.
Yeah, we do get into a bit of an awkward situation here, though, where because Ferrothorn learns knockoff, it's very difficult for Nick to get Blacephalon in, which is the one thing he has that can actually properly take care of Ferrothorn.
Yeah. Well, he's got a Terra Fire on the horse as well, so that is a potential.
He does have Terra Fire on the horse, that's true.
So we get another knockoff. Leftovers is gone now. Defog, so both rocks are out of the field at this point too. And Nick, Scoot's just clicking, moves just to deal some damage to this thing. And Nick just not able to dish any damage back, so we're sitting here for a little bit.
Yeah. Again, the knockoff is just to keep threatening the Blacephalon to not allow it in.
Yeah. Taking its leftovers, by the way, is huge. I love that play from Nick right there with the trick going off yet again. Scoots, of course, take advantage of Leech Seed, which is really nice.
Yep. Knocking off the protective pads here, so the Iron Barbs will start hurting again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Nick, but it doesn't end up making a big difference. The Power Whip knocking this thing out after the close combat drops its defense.
Yeah. Flamethrower doing 30.
Finally getting Blacephalon in, but unfortunately it ends up just flamethrowing into a Reggie, which like it's just so bulky. It's not gonna like get through it quite that easily.
Flurblitz hailing this thing, and then Electro coming in, threatening that. But Gigas is back. Terra Ghost is here, and Terra Blast does nothing.
Terra Blast into the normal type, unfortunately.
I think everything.
Another cheeky knockoff.
I think everything on Nick's team has been like knocked off except two things.
Yeah, Blacephalon still has its item, but that's it. Also, with the Terra being on Electrode, that does mean that the Pale Horse is now stuck being an Ice type.
Yeah, oh, and now Blacephalon's also dead because of Flare Blitz. I don't know if the crit mattered. I know Blacephalon's really frail, but don't know for sure.
It will unfortunately remain uncertain. And this, Megalodius just comes in, like clicks Calm Mind. Is about to do it again.
Yep, and it's...
And now at +2 Megalodios, the game is over.
Yeah, there's nothing Nick can do. And even then, Clefable and Ferrothorn are still in the back.
Like even if that Terra Blast is a crit, I still do not believe it kills.
Probably not.
Because it deals double damage because the Spadef would be... The Spadef boost gets ignored, and then what is it, 50% extra from a crit? Like, I don't believe it's double damage.
That's something to look up. That's something to look up and find out so we can give accurate information to those participating and watching in the fight.
Good.
But even then, Scoot still had Ferrothorn and Clefable, and I don't know if Electro could have, worked through those two Pokemon regardless. Because it hits hard, but, it's only 80 special attack, if I remember correctly. And those other two Pokemon just kind of deal with it. Ferrothorn could easily Leech Seed on that thing, although it is low on health, so... Clefable's there, though, with another Calm Mind and Moonblast and stuff, so...
Yeah. Crit is 50% extra damage.
Okay, cool.
It used to be 2 in older generations.
Yep. But yeah, that'll give Scoots the win, though, and that'll give Nick his first loss in the division. Moving on, though, we have one last match to go over this week.
Yes, we have Alter of the Sliggoo Sluggers versus Mass of the Treasure Town Togetics. There were some shenanigans, pre-match for this one.
Yeah, there were. Alter had trouble with Showdown, couldn't get team saved, and then there was also issue in receiving the battle from Mass as well, from my understanding. The fight still happened. Alter wanted it to happen so that he didn't waste Mass's time or our time, so he grabbed his team from last week and made some adjustments to it. So we have a lot less prep on Alter's end over there. But either way, it's still a scary team. There's there's 3 flying types on Mass's team, and the Colossal's there. Pretty sure Gouging Fire also gets Stone Edge or something.
Yeah, Rock type coverage is annoyingly very common.
Yeah.
Rock Slide and Stone Edge are just found in so many Pokemon for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why that is.
In fact, most of this team, if Leafeon was Terra Rock or Terra Ice or something like that, actually Leafeon would kill most of this team by itself.
Yeah, unfortunately it is Terra Grass.
It is Terra Grass, unfortunately, yes. But with that said, I do like the Murkrow Ring on Mass's team. That's very fun. We haven't seen it yet. Prankster's always fun. Paralysis, Whirlwind. Not Whirlwind, sorry. Tailwind. I think he gets Toxic too. Don't remember. But it also brings his own weather if Mass wants to be silly and bring Rain Dance with it by chance to do a Thunder or something like that. That's always an option. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, Rain Dance can potentially give you a Hydration Manaphy. Sandstorm can actually give you the Sand Rush Excadrill, which
I don't know if Murkrow
still interesting that Excadrill has found itself on a team without a Sand Setter.
Yeah, I also don't know if Murkrow gets a Sandstorm or not. Does it?
I'm not sure. We checked out the team analysis at some point.
I think we did.
Which of Mass's Pokemon actually gets
Yeah, Murkrow
Sandstorm
does not get Sandstorm.
Okay.
Nope, it does get Rain Dance and Sunny Day though, and that's okay.
Murkrow, funny VGC Pokemon with Prankster.
Yeah,
it was used there basically exclusively because it was like the only like prankster or allowed prankster Pokemon with Tailwind.
Yeah. But I think with that being said, there's not much else to really go over with the team dynamics as we look into it. Azelf lead, Clodsire lead, already really scary. Not dying to a Zen Headbutt is crazy, but we do get rocks up on Mass's side, which will likely do a lot for his team because everything there does not like rocks.
True.
Well said.
Mass does have a spinner, so like can get rid of them with his mole at some point, but he needs to find the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
And into Alter's team with 2 fire types, a water type, 3 fire types.
Yeah.
And Leafeon, it's difficult to find a time and place for it.
It really is. I mean, Solar Beam to plus special defense there, doing 39% is kind of crazy. Alter avoiding a Thunder Wave there with Leafeon, kind of realizing what Murkrow does.
Yep. Opting to change out the sun for the rain, which is more advantageous for Mass here.
Yeah.
Clicks a Raw Thunder, and Ninetales bringing the sun, reducing Thunder to 50% accuracy.
Still takes
and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, which is such a shame.
Still connects.
Here it's kind of a shame we see Alter click Swords Dance. If he just clicked an attack there, likely Murkrow would have just died. Any attack would have just killed Murkrow, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's interesting to choose to go for the paralysis over the rain again.
Yeah.
I do somewhat understand it, because like after this sun runs out, the paralysis remains, whereas the sun is like a thing that will peter out on its own eventually.
Yeah. That was very bold of Mass, by the way, to go right into this on
Very
this.
bold, but it's a good read.
It's a good read,
and
for
this
sure.
this thing probably scarfs because it outspeeds the thing. It even outspeeds. Actually, no, never mind. This thing's paralyzed. That's
It's
why
paralyzed, yeah. It does outspeed it, though. You're right.
The double kick, the crit helping it take out. We have no idea like how much damage it would like normally. I guess with 50%. It's around 40. It would have done like 80 without a crit.
Yeah.
80, 81.
Mm-hmm. So, Thunderbolt. So, this Thundurus is running Thunder, Thunderbolt, and Volt Switch.
Yeah, who needs to hit ground types?
You're so right. Yeah.
The heat crash, like despite the fact of how much like heavier this thing is, Manaphy resisting it ends up not taking too much damage.
It's kind of a shame. I actually don't know if it was the exact set from last week or if he made some minor adjustments in prep, but like if it was the same set as last week, it was Endure Weakness policy with some silly moves other than Heat Crash. I think it had like Earthquake or one other thing or Stone Edge or something. That could have been really funny to see Endure Weakness policy with Steam Engine, genuinely, because at that point, if it had Stone Edge, what does Mass do about that? Looking at what's left.
Die.
That's so true. That actually could have been such a high tech because that would have swept everything with a Stone Edge if he landed all the hits on that.
I guess Mass's answer to that is cross his fingers and pray that he misses.
Yeah. But again, we see Alter take another loss here. Mass getting his first win, finally getting out of the what is now 0-3s at the bottom. We're going to get into the stats here in just a second. So good on Mass for getting that first victory. And I believe this week's match coming up for Mass is against Woody. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, do you want to tell me who's on top of the Aqua division for week 3? I'll tell you who's on the bottom if you do that.
Yeah, the top 4 of Aqua division are as follows. We still have the Portland Palafins in first place with a 14 differential. In second place now, the Grass Valley Greninjas, 3-0 at 11 differential. Big of the Blood Moon Bears, it's 10 differential with 3-0. Nick taking his first loss against Scoots, so he's knocked down to be the only 2-win person in the whole division, with 2-1 and a +2 differential.
In fifth place now is Mass at a 1-2 -4, with Jason right behind him, and everyone else here at 0-3s, with Jason at 0-3 -9. Alter, the Sliggoo Sluggers at 0-3 -11, and Woody at 0-3 -13. And we're getting to a point now where, the other divisions, we're still a little bit unsure. We're still technically unsure who's going to make it to playoffs, but based on how it's looking into week 4, we're going to go into next week, we're going to start getting ideas of who's going to make it. Now, we did say earlier, Scoots and Bick have not fought. Nick and Scoots just fought for the first time. Grass Valley Greninjas, Mad Capture has not fought Nick or Scoots or Bick yet. There's people who haven't done their Woody fights. There's people who haven't done like the earlier fights. Like, Mass has fought Alter now, but still hasn't fought. Has he fought Jason? I don't think he's fought Jason yet. No. So, we're going to start seeing more things shake up and change around here. But likely, my thought is 4th place in Aqua is likely going to be contested as we look into the further weeks. That one we don't know. I think, though, at this point, it could be safe to say Scoots is very likely into playoffs. Don't know for sure. There's still 4 matches to be had. And 3 and 4s are very common in a lot of draft league, I feel like. You see them a lot in B, and they kind of determine 3rd, 4th place.
I mean, like, if things, like, go according to seeding, like, in theory, you would have one person that's 7-0, then 2nd place is 6-1, 3rd place is 5-2, and just, pull that through. Obviously not always how it shakes out. But yeah, like 4 wins tends to be sort of like that magical threshold that gets you into that playoffs contention.
Yeah.
And with the top end now having to start fighting amongst itself a lot more, that means that they're going to start racking up more losses amongst each other as well. Mm-hmm. And the top or the bottom end getting to fight amongst themselves means that they are forced to take some more wins.
Yeah.
So like, nothing is over yet.
No. Nothing's over quite yet, and I'm very excited to just kind of see how things shake up. Like I said, I think there might be a couple predictable little things here and there for Aqua, but again, who's to really say? There's a lot that still has to happen. I think this is the largest disparity in differential, though, going from a 14 to a -13 compared to some of the other divisions, which, by the way, if you have not checked out Rocket, where you can see Spoon, myself, or
No,
Magma,
you don't need to watch Rocket Division.
You know what? You're so right. You don't need to watch Rocket Division. Or Magma Division, where you can see Nick and Aurora cover that division, or you can see Skull with...
Skull, that's Nick and me is Skull Division.
Yes.
You and Spoon is Magma Division.
No, Spoon and I are Rocket Division. You and Nick are Magma.
No. Nick and me do Skull Division.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not
Nick
involved
and
in Magma. You are
do
involved
Magma.
in...
Nick and Spoon.
Oh, Nick and Spoon is Magma.
Yes, no, I do Rocket
like,
Spoon. Okay. My bad.
Everyone has like their half that they do.
That's true.
You're Aqua Rockets. I'm Aqua Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have our little...
It all works out.
Yeah, we have our little 4 square of things here and there. Either way, thank you all so much for joining us. I'm very excited to look into week 4 and especially week 5. By then, we'll really start to get an idea of who's going to be making the playoffs, who's not. Are there any rivalries happening, or are there any big matches we need to look out for? As we go further into the schedule, we're probably going to start talking about like upcoming matches, because the upcoming matches are really going to start mattering for these last few weeks that we have. We have 4 weeks left of playoffs of regular season still before playoffs kicks in, and I'm excited to start just analyzing the matches and who's coming up and this and that and everything, and I think it's gonna be a very good time. But thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.